Welcome back to the channel. This is No Luck Trucking. I'm Matt, and Liz is right back there. She's making some sandwiches for lunch. We're sitting over at a truck stop. It's pretty empty. So let's talk about what we have noticed the last couple days. The truck stops that we've been passing and rest areas have been pretty empty, like maybe 10-20% capacity at most of them. And I thought, well, maybe it's the area, but we've been from Virginia down to North Carolina, over to Houston, up to Dallas, and now we're heading towards Alabama. So I don't think it's just an area thing, because there's been a few times in our career where we've hit these weird patches, like up near like Niagara Falls in New York. We rolled in late. We reserved a spot, but there was like half the lot was empty. You know, we've like around the Georgia-Florida line, there's a few truck stops that you can get there whenever at night, and there's always parking. Things like that. So I don't think it was just geographic anomalies. So it's been happening. I've been noticing it a lot. The later that we were driving, just kind of taking an inventory of how many spots were available, and just kind of, you know, rest areas, truck stops, everything like that. So, you know, we were kind of discussing it, and we came up with like 3 possibilities that it could be. So first one, what everyone's going to say, holiday weekend, right? So we've been out for a while, almost 5 years in this, and most of the holidays, it's kind of business as usual. You might see a tiny reduction, but not in parking, because as we know, parking's always bad. Has always been bad since we've been in. It's always been bad from the people that I know that have been in for quite a while, a lot longer than we have. Parking has just always kind of been an issue. You plan your whole day around where you're going to park and when. But I don't. It's so the holiday weekend thing. I don't think it was just that. Maybe that would account for a little bit, but I don't think like a 75% reduction in people parking in the spots just for Memorial Day weekend. So, but the other thing is, maybe because the rates are the way they are, more people are taking off time, because the implied loss value of that week running is a lot less now than it is when things are good. So when we take home time, we kind of figure, you know, what you average every week, that's basically like your implied loss of revenue. Like, it's not directly coming out of your bank account. Your bank account's just not growing any larger with that value of what it would normally would. So you kind of take that into account. Obviously, we don't factor it in like we're losing this money, but you're losing the opportunity to make the money. So we try to keep our home time around a week, sometimes 2 weeks, you know, you never know. Like last time, it ended up being 2 weeks, and it was fantastic. But typically, if we run home, it'll be for a couple days, a week, maybe max. But it's a little easier now to justify the 2 weeks, because the rates are lower, and it's a lot harder to make this like crazy money like it was, you know, a year or so ago. So maybe more people are taking off because the opportunity to make a lot more money is just not there. But on the same token, people need to park their trucks. Not everybody can park it at home or have like a paid lot or anything. So a lot of the truck stops have people's trucks when they're going home. A lot of times, like the 4th of July and stuff like that, or any of those holidays where you pop in for the weekend, like truck stops are usually full of trucks that just don't move. So I don't think it's the holiday that factored into it. So second idea is, you know, the rates being what they are, maybe more places are shutting the doors. Maybe more people are turning in their trucks and calling it quits or early retirement. that one I'm not sure. So, judging by the load volume and the load rates, I don't think that's fully taken in effect yet. There would be a lot more trucks for sale on the auctions. Prices would go way down on used trucks. Once capacity starts draining, I mean, obviously the rates would go up, and the load amount would start rising as well, since it's always like a balance of more trucks than there are loads, rates are low, more rates than there are trucks, obviously rates are high. And it kind of balances back and forth, and it resets all the time. And, you know, sometimes you're the hammer and sometimes you're the nail. Right now we're the nail. We're working on being more than a nail, but it's a slow progress, you know? So I don't know. I don't know if businesses are shutting down enough to affect parking yet. Because, I mean, there's a lot of mega carriers, there's a lot of company drivers, there's a lot of people that are bottom feeders, and they'll run whatever pennies that they can get. And all these people need parking as well. So I don't think we're quite there yet. And then the last is maybe this driver shortage is real. They've only been talking about it for about 40 years. I think some people that I know that were in the industry and have gotten out way before I even got into the industry were talking, and they were saying that there was a word of a driver shortage even then. And they've been perpetuating that since before we got into trucking. The whole time while we've been in trucking, we've always heard about this driver shortage. But when somebody did an audit of the capacity of the trucking industry, like an outside source, I think this was about 2 or 3 years ago. Actually, it was before the pandemic, so it had to have been probably like 3.5 years ago. That we were almost 30% over capacity as far as being able to house all the trucks in parking, and just capacity day to day, like loads, and just in general, like traffic flow, and there was a whole bunch of metrics. And like I said, they factored in we were running somewhere around a 30% overage of drivers, and I don't think that's changed enough to have this driver shortage kick in now after 40 years of perpetuating it. In my entire time of driving, I have never seen this driver shortage, but it's a way to get people into trucking. But then it also inflates their ego, because they think that, like, yeah, I have a CDL now and there's a driver shortage, they're going to treat me right. But it doesn't work that way. And it, well, obviously, if they've been talking about a driver shortage for 40 years, I really don't think that would start affecting the parking now. That'd be a, you know, very delayed effect. So, I don't know. I'm going to keep an eye on it the later times that we drive, and just see where parking is. And also, like, you know, like late at night, we were just at a truck stop for a day and some change, and even then, like, it wasn't, the place wasn't max full. And typically there's people parked wherever you can fit a truck that's not directly in somebody's way when they're fueling or trying to exit, and there's a truck parked there, you know, like stacked up on the end, like 3 or 4 trucks past where the actual spots are and things like that. But there wasn't any stackage of trucks. And that was Tuesday and Wednesday, so that was after the holiday weekend as well. So I don't know. I'm going to keep an eye on it and try to figure out, I don't know, if we finally hit rock bottom in the market, or enough people have scrubbed out that we're starting to get parking, which would be a good thing. I mean, well, obviously not people striking out and not making it. You know, people got to feed their families and stuff like that. But just reducing the capacity of trucks would be good, because then we wouldn't have to plan our entire day on getting to a spot to park while there's still parking. which has plagued the trucking industry, especially the solo guys, man. They get it way worse. Because, like, we can at least switch drivers if we run out of time and get somewhere if we need to, but it really, really hurts a solo driver way more when your clock's up and you have not found parking. It's a stressful time. So a little reduction in some capacity, you know, if we could get down to like maybe 100% capacity or maybe even 90%, that might be asking too much. But if we could just get down to 100% capacity instead of like 130%. But like I said, that was also a couple years ago. I would imagine by now we're probably rocking somewhere around 100% capacity. But if we could get less, you know, and not have to like worry so much about parking, I think everyone would be a little bit happier. But also, you know, rates, what can you say about it that already hasn't been said? Rates are down, load count is down, and people's financial stress is up. But you know, just gotta make it through. We've talked about it, all the things, you know, living within your means. It's a little too late to start saving now when times are good. We're past that point, but you know, just something to think about. I don't know, I'm sure everyone will share their opinion on what they think it is, but now mind you, this is kind of like Midwest area, but in Texas, especially near Houston and Dallas, like those truck stops always fill up. So I don't know, it seems a little bit different. I don't think it's the holiday weekend. We're gonna continue to keep track of it and see if it continues on through the week, maybe into next week. If parking is good still, then we'll know it's not the holiday weekend. Definitely don't think it's a driver shortage. That hasn't been a thing. Probably is never going to be a thing for the time that we're going to be in trucking. So I don't know. Maybe rates have hit low enough that enough people are shutting down business. Maybe that's what it is. Who knows? But thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.